Greetings, I'm Dr. Sean Reed, author of The Dating Toolbox, available on Amazon.com. So today I want to ask and answer the question, can older, less attractive guys get women? Okay, the short answer is yes. And I'm going to explain in this video today how this can be done and why it's not a hopeless proposition. Okay, so you do not need to resign yourself to a mindset of failure. And a matter of fact, what you need to do is you need to develop a mindset of abundance. And I'm going to explain here how you can do that today. This question comes from a guy who posted on one of the relationship forums. He said, I'm not that good looking of a guy. I'm about a 3.5. How can I project this abundance mindset to women? And one of the posters, very good poster, a very wise man, said, you can't lie about it, you can't fake it, but you can develop an abundance mindset even if you are a less than average looking guy, even if you are an older guy. So let's talk about how to do that. The primary way we do that is we maximize the things that we can. Okay, so in short, if you are a 3 or a 4, there are things you can do to boost your looks, to boost your attractiveness. You can become a 5 or a 6. And if you become a 5 or a 6, then there are things you can do through your behavior by developing your game that you can date 6s and 7s. Okay, and I'm going to argue that you can find some pretty darn high quality women that are 6s and 7s. I dated a gal. She was very average looking. She was shorter but had a phenomenal body. And she was just wonderful. She was a 7. She had a great body but an average face. I came close to marrying her. I didn't marry her. I married another girl. I married my wife, who is much better looking, who's extremely beautiful. But this was a great gal. To this day, 20 years later, I still think about her. So the larger point here is you are not doomed to failure if you're a less than average looking guy. Let's talk about how you can get more successful, how you can develop this abundance mindset. The first thing is, if you are a 3 or a 4, if you're older, there are a lot of things you can do to improve your appearance. Okay, first of all, we get to the gym. Okay, we start working out. We start eating right. We eat a good diet. And we have to be disciplined. We have to understand that this is a long game. It may take 1 or 2 years for you to really transform your body, but you can transform your looks. So even if you're a shorter guy, you're 5'7", 5'8", you're very fit, you're lean, you're muscular, you can present yourself as much better looking. So again, there's no need to resign, even though your face isn't that handsome. And that's probably true in my case. So we get to the gym, we eat a good diet, hair. And this is something that's important to a lot of my older guys. I'm lucky I still have hair, but a lot of older guys are balding and losing their hair. And my first advice generally to them is so many of them are hanging on desperately to the little bit of hair they have. Stop doing that. My friend Walter was in that boat. He had like 15 hairs on his head, and he was just doing everything he could to hang on to those 15 hairs. And I told him, dude, just shave it. Go for a clean look. So he shaved his head. He developed a nice, clean, tight-looking beard, and that changed him radically. Yes, he's shaven, he's bald, but he's attractive. He boosted his looks significantly. So gym, diet, hair, clothing, guys, dress well. Okay, you'll notice that I wear shirts. I have a certain types of shirts I like. They're bright, they draw attention. That helps me a lot. Another thing, guys, boots. I love boots. I have 9 pair of cowboy boots. Notice the heel. I'm 5'9", but in these boots, I'm over 5'11" tall. So again, choices in clothing greatly enhance my look. I'm going out this Saturday. I have a date night with my wife. I'm going to cut my hair. Look at my eyebrows. My eyebrows need trimming. By cutting my hair, trimming my eyebrows, dressing stylishly, even though I'm older, I'm almost 63, and I'm quite frankly not that good looking anymore, I still can be very, very presentable and attract a woman like my wife who's 47 years younger, still gets carded, and still is very beautiful. So the point here, guys, is that you can improve your looks. You can go from a 3 to a 5. You can go from a 4 to a 6 easily. Well, not easily. You have to do the work, but it absolutely 100% can be done. And you can date 2 levels above your looks. So if you're a 5, you absolutely 100% can date 7s all day. Now, you're not going to get the 9s and the 10s. You have to understand that. You have to be realistic. Okay, let's also talk a little bit about age. Okay, I was pretty good looking until my late 50s, and turning 60 beat my face with an ugly stick. Okay, so again, I do all these things to make myself more attractive, but let's talk now about other things you can do, and that is developing your game. Okay, I know a guy at the gym who's 68 and another is 62. The 68-year-old is still decently attractive. He's fit, he was a professional soccer player, but he doesn't have the right attitude. He's given up on women, and he doesn't open women, and he doesn't do all the things he needs to do to be successful. He's had 3 divorces. He's just kind of resigned himself. I've made a video about this. He does all the things. He's made every mistake possible. So he's not successful with women, even though he could be. I know another guy's 62. He's married, but he's constantly opening women at the gym. He's constantly starting conversations. Okay? He's married, but if he were single, he could easily get dates, even though he's over 60. Okay? And now another thing about us older guys dating, you have to be realistic and age appropriate. Okay, if you're 62, you're not going to be dating 23-year-olds. I mean, yes, you hear about it happening, but be realistic. You're going to have to date women in the right age range. So you can go at least 5-10 years younger, no problem. Generally, the max is about 15. My wife's 15 years younger. If there was more of an age gap than that, yes, I think there are some additional difficulties that come on that make it, you hear about these rich guys who date much younger women, but as a general rule, for us older guys, you can go younger, but 15 years is about the limit. So you have to be realistic. You're a 60-year-old, you're a 5, you can date 7s, and you can date women up to as young as mid-40s. So if you're realistic, you can be successful. And again, this leads us back to this notion of an abundance mindset. Let's talk a little bit more now about what things you can do. And I talked about this in other videos, but it's really important here. You have to embrace rejection. Okay? Again, you have to date fearlessly. I'm going to talk about this a little bit when I talk about places to meet women, but you have to be aggressive. You can't, a lot of guys, older guys, have given up. Don't give up, okay? So for example, I went shopping last night at the supermarket. I saw 3 women who were attractive, mid-late 40s, who all would have been potential dating partners. If I were single, I would have opened every one of them, and let's say 2 didn't want to talk to me, 1 would. And then from there, I'd have a 50% chance of getting her phone number. So you have to embrace rejection. You still must date fearlessly and aggressively. Okay. Now a great place for us older guys to meet women is a supermarket. So I'm a big fan of the supermarket. Another thing is, as we get older, I think dating sites become more viable. Okay. There are lots and lots of older women. You have these dating sites dedicated to older people. There are lots and lots of women on there. I would say there are probably 2 women to every man. Now, that does not mean things are going to be easy, because here's the problem with older women, and here's the problem with the dating sites. As we get older, because men die off much younger, as we get older, the ratio of available women to available men increases tremendously. So there's going to be a 2-to-1 ratio. So there's going to be the numbers of women will be very good, but the quality of these women will generally be lower. Okay. So if you're single and 25 and you're dating women in their early 20s, the ratio of women to men is about 1-to-1. Okay. But a lot of these women are obviously higher quality. These higher quality women get snatched up and married, and they stay married. if a man knows how to manage a relationship. Whereas as we get older, the quality of these women is lower, but there are more of them. So again, guys, that goes back to my main point. It's a numbers game. We must be constantly opening, constantly gaming women. So, for example, the supermarket, the gym, and dating sites are good places for us older guys. I'm not a big fan of dating sites for younger guys, but for older guys, the numbers are simply too good. And so you got to go, again, I should do a video on this, on how to use these dating sites, but it's a number game. You know, you want to be starting conversations. I would spend an hour a night trying to start a conversation with at least 10 women. And again, you know, you might have success with one or two of those. So again, guys, the potential is there. You just have to be willing to do the work, and you need to understand the situation. You've got a situation where there are a lot of women are lower quality, but there are a lot of them, which means that your chances are pretty good of meeting a higher quality woman. Okay, so the bottom line, guys, going back to this original question, can older, less attractive men get women? Absolutely yes. You've got to do two things. You've got to maximize the things you can about your looks and about your presentation, and then you need to develop an abundance mindset. If you do these two things, you can be successful.